Hello, I'm Food Daniel. Today I'm going to show you how to overlay a jazz-style shuffle pattern with the right hand on top of a heavy metal-style single bass pedal gallop with the right foot. Why? I don't know, it's something I came up with and thought I'd share it with you. To start, let's take a look at the single bass pedal gallop riff. Here's the riff before we add the shuffle pattern. As you can see, just quarter notes on the ride cymbal. Pretty straightforward. And here's what it sounds like at a fairly slow speed.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, nothing to it. And now let's speak about shuffle patterns for a minute before we overlay them on top of the rest. What you're seeing here are two different iterations of the jazz shuffle pattern. The top line, it's written in triplet form, ding, 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 ding. And the bottom line is written in dotted 16th note form, ding, 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 ding. Now, if you interpret these two lines literally, they do sound a bit different. But one thing that throws off a lot of non-jazz drummers, including myself, when we try to learn basic jazz techniques, is that jazz drumming sheet music isn't always read literally. In Jim Chapin's legendary instruction manual, Advanced Techniques for the Modern Drummer, he specifically says in the intro that it's often written like this, but played like this. And he also specifically mentions that at faster tempos, this and this sound interchangeable. Now, what this has to do with overlaying it on top of single bass pedal gallops is that when you play it, it's much, much better to think of it like this, because a single bass pedal gallop is also written in 16th note fashion instead of triplet fashion. So that's what we're going to focus on, okay? So if this is what you're used to thinking and feeling and playing, do your jazz shuffle patterns, for this particular exercise, it's better to think of it like this, because it overlays much more comfortably with what we're going to put underneath it. Okay, there it is with the shuffles added. Now, naturally we're going to start this at a very, very slow tempo. Key thing to know though is, notice the first stroke of the shuffle, the first stroke of the shuffle strikes concurrently with the second stroke of the gallop. Boom, boom. See, we got two and three, and the gallop and the There you go. They line up. So yes, indeed, the first stroke of the shuffle is concurrent with the second stroke of the gallop. That's something to keep in mind. That's something to focus on when you're first getting the hang of it. And it becomes second nature far quicker than you think. Okay? So listen for that as you hear me play it now at a very slow tempo.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you hear how that goes? And yes, indeed, I think it's very important when you're first learning to do this to start out at that dinosaur slow tempo, slow enough that the shuffle is two separate strokes instead of bouncing a three. It's a separate three, because that way it'll make it easier for it to gel in your mind that the first stroke of the shuffle is concurrent with the second stroke of the gallop. And in less time than you think, you'll feel comfortable enough with this that you can play it at a tempo where you can bounce it a bit. Like this. Here it is at a moderate tempo.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, at that tempo, as you heard, it does have a nice jaunty feel to it. Now let's do it at a full-blown sprint, full-blown giddy-up gallop.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, at that fast tempo, the shuffle adds some texture to it without taking away at all from the forward motion of it. That's a great thing. And now I'll finish this tutorial by playing it again at a fast speed, only this time throwing in a bunch of fills. I hope you had a good time watching this. I hope you learned something from it. Cheers!